Party chief to Lam pays tribute to President Ho Chi Minh in Nghệ An.
Trump threatens attack on Iran if it does not make a deal.
Deposit interest rate raise heats up again.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news by Nghệ An Press and Broadcasting Agency. I'm Hoàng Yên, and here we go, the first up of the show. Party General Secretary To Lam on January 29th to led a high-level delegation to Kim Lin's Special National Relic Site, the hometown of the late President Ho Chi Minh. With profound respect, the delegation offered flowers and incense to commemorate and express infinite gratitude to the late President Ho Chi Minh, the founder and the leader of the Communist Party of Vietnam, a national liberation hero and a world cultural celebrity.
In a solemn and respectful atmosphere, General Secretary To Lam and the delegation expressed profound gratitude to President Ho Chi Minh, who devoted his entire life to national liberation and to the cause of peace and happiness for the Vietnamese people and people around the world. The party chief reported on the highly successful outcomes of the recent 14th National Party Congress, a particularly important political event that marks a new milestone in building and refining the comprehensive and synchronous renovation policy, meeting the requirements for the country's fast and sustainable development in the new era. The delegation pledged absolute loyalty to the party's goals and ideals, promising to uphold the tradition of solidarity and unity. They expressed high determination to successfully implement the resolution of the 14th National Party Congress by constantly innovating thinking and leadership methods, improving the party's governing capacity and combativeness, and harnessing the strength of great national unity to lead the country toward rapid, sustainable development, firmly stepping into a new era of national growth.
Sacred emotions arousing pride, faith, and the aspiration for national progress. That is the impact of the national televised program, Building a Nation with Two Hands, commemorating the 85th anniversary of the late President Ho Chi Minh's return to Vietnam to lead the Vietnamese Revolution. The event was held in 4 historical locations like Cao Bằng, Hanoi, Nghệ An, and Ho Chi Minh City.
National televised program Building a Nation with Two Hands recreates the historic milestone of President Ho Chi Minh's return to Pac Bo after 30 years of seeking a path to national salvation, laying the foundation for the Vietnamese revolutionary cause. The central message of the televised program affirms that the Vietnamese people, having risen from hardship with their own hands, can now reach even greater heights with the intelligence, courage, and inner strength of the new era. Each individual is a hand contributing to the overall development of the country. At the Kim Lien Historical Site in Nghệ An, the atmosphere of the program was solemn, moving, and poignant, imbued with the depth of history and sacred feelings towards President Ho Chi Minh.
U.S. President Donald Trump sharply intensified his threats against Iran on Wednesday, suggesting that if it did not agree to a set of demands the administration had made of the country's leaders, he could soon mount an attack with speed and violence.
In a post on the social media, U.S. President Donald Trump said that the naval force led by the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln is rapidly moving toward the Middle East with strength, enthusiasm, and a clear purpose, and is larger than the force previously sent to Venezuela. He added that this force is ready to complete the mission with speed and violence if necessary. Trump also warned Iran, hoping it would quickly return to the negotiating table to negotiate a fair, nuclear-free deal, one that is good for both Washington and Tehran. In response, Ali Shamkhani, an advisor to Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei, declared that any military action by the U.S. would provoke Iran to target the U.S., Israel, and their supporters.
Upcoming are some updated news.
At 8:10 p.m. tonight, January 29th, 2026, the program The Sentiments of the Lamb River, Spring of the Year of the Horse 2026, is taking place at the Nghệ An Provincial Labor Cultural House. This is a deeply humanitarian event that honors the tradition of the Nghe people, prioritizing gratitude and loving others as one loves oneself. Now, in its 14th year, the program, originally known as Tet for the Poor, has been renamed the Sentiments of the Lam River, Nghia Tin Dong Lam. Its mission is to call upon, connect, and honor government agencies, organizations, businesses, philanthropists, and people from all walks of life. Together, they contribute resources to support the impoverished, households in extremely difficult circumstances, and the vulnerable across the province, ensuring a warmer and happier Lunar New Year. As of 2 p.m. on January 29, 2025, 408 agencies, organizations, businesses, and philanthropists had registered their support, with a total amount exceeding 165 billion VND, the highest ever.
Within the framework of the ASEAN Tourism Forum, ATF 2026, held in the Philippines from January 27th to 30th, 2026, Nghệ An participated with a booth showcasing and promoting its cultural values, tourism, and heritage alongside the Vietnam National Tourism Administration, other localities, and businesses, with a total area of 36 km La Paz. One of the key activities of ATF 2026 is the Travex International Tourism Fair, with the theme Environmentally Friendly Tourism Destinations. Organized to attract the attention of international partners, businesses, and tourists. At the fair, the Nghệ An tourism booth showcased and promoted the image of destinations, products, and unique tourism potential of the locality, such as Kualo Beach tourism, ecotourism, and community tourism in Western Nghệ An, cultural and historical tourism associated with the birthplace of President Ho Chi Minh, along with resort tourism products and experiences reflecting local cultural identity.
According to information from the Department of Enterprises and Labor, Southeast Economic Zone Management Board, in Nghệ An, the unit is coordinating with businesses and relevant parties to prepare for the first job fair in 2026 at VSIP Industrial Park in Hung Duin Commune. It is expected that within one day, workers and businesses at the VSIP Industrial Park will be able to connect with job seekers and ultimately reach employment agreements. The first job fair of 2026 saw the participation of approximately 20 businesses from the VSIP Nghệ and Industrial Park, recruiting over 70,000 workers, including both unskilled and skilled laborers. This is a favorable opportunity for workers, especially those from other provinces wishing to return home, to obtain the most accurate and complete information about the labor market in VSIP Industrial Park.
Following a period of slow growth, banks have simultaneously ramped up deposit interest rates in the first month of 2026. This move aims to attract idle cash to meet the surging demand for capital in production and business. Many times have climbed to 6 to 7% per year, with incentives pushing effective rates beyond 8%. This trend directly impacts the depositors, businesses, and the overall interest rate level of the economy. More in the story today.
The deposit interest rate level is heating up as many banks simultaneously increase rates, commonly to 6 to 7% a year. For online deposits of 6 months or more, the interest rate is increased by up to 2% per year, bringing the actual received rate to over 8%. In just 1 week, many banks have adjusted their rates upwards twice by 0.5 to 1%, showing that the competition to attract capital is becoming increasingly fierce.
Interest rates are quite high now compared to before. Gold is expensive, so I find depositing money in the bank safer and more stable than other investment channels.
Not sitting on the sidelines, state-owned commercial banks have also joined the fray, with the highest rates reaching. Not sitting on the sidelines, state-owned commercial banks have also joined the fray, with the highest rates reaching approximately 5.3% per year. Short-term rates, 1 to 5 months at many banks have approached or even hit the 4.75.
During periods of high interest rates, to avoid capital outflows, banks adopt measures such as improving service quality and diversifying fundraising channels.
According to banks, the rate hikes are primarily driven by exchange rate pressure, inflation, and a mismatch between credit growth and capital mobilization. By the end of 2025, credit surged by approximately 19%, while deposits only grew by 14.1%. Additionally, recent fluctuations at some banks have forced credit institutions to increase their capital reserves to ensure liquidity safety.
Adjusting interest rates to be competitive with the market while also offering promotional programs and rewards for customers.
Along with deposit interest rates, lending interest rates have also started to increase. Many banks have increased by 1 to 2% per year compared to the end of last year, bringing the average lending rate to 9.5%. The real estate sector is most clearly affected, with common interest rates of 12 to 14% per year.
High interest rates significantly impact businesses. Furthermore, loan application procedures are relatively complex. Support would be beneficial in boosting business activities.
Rising capital mobilization costs are driving lending rates upward, directly affecting production, business, and economic growth. Amidst persistent inflationary pressures, interest rate policies must be managed flexibly and cautiously to control inflation while ensuring the stability of the banking financial system and sustainable growth.
The last story just ended our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.